So what we're going to be talking about today is 2023. We're going to be talking about the market. We're going to be talking about what you can do with your e-commerce business to maximize as much success as possible. And we're going to talk about what we're doing with Puppering. We're going to talk about, let me see everything. I wrote down a list and yeah, we'll also cover holiday pushes, a little bit about product launches, and top of funnel acquisition kind of during this period. So first thing I want to talk about, we're in an interesting period with the economy, especially in the US. It's one where everything's really inflated, and that directly will impact consumer purchasing decisions. And that's something that I believe has directly been impacting certain days, certain industries, certain niches. I talked with some of you guys about this before, probably some of you guys that are watching this Loom video. And I do want to talk a little bit about this specific month. So this specific month has been a lot slower for a lot of people. My personal belief on this, as I saw the same thing happen last year, is that there is a market cycle that takes into consideration. April has a lot of Facebook changes that come out. Facebook will do testing. They'll do rolling out of new features. Every single year that I've been doing e-commerce for, April has been kind of funky. And that's going to be visible to not everybody, but some people. And it's good to keep that in mind and to plan accordingly. So that kind of leads me to want to talk about how you can plan accordingly. Most businesses are going to make the most amount of money during big gifting periods. Most businesses are going to make their money during huge gifting periods. We have upcoming an opportunity to make a lot of money with Mother's Day. So that is one thing that us as Puppering have been heavily focusing on. What you need to do is identify which holidays are going to benefit your specific niche and structure a month to 2 months before that holiday hits to start preparing for it. Some of you guys are going to sell products that are applicable to men. Father's Day. Some of you guys are going to be selling products that are applicable to just women. If you're in the pet niche, there's National Pet Day. There's a lot of days, and I want to show you guys a calendar. There are so many national holidays that it's crazy. And if you find the ones that are applicable to your niche, you can do some fun things with it. So like if we go to April, these are all of the holidays in April. If you run a weed brand, yesterday was 420. This was a massive fucking push for a lot of weed brands. I had every dispensary in my area sending me text messages for promotions they're running. Let's say that you sell poker. Well, guess what? 2 days ago, on April 19th, was National Poker Day. If you run a poker brand, hype National Poker Day, it's coming up to your audience and release a new poker set and boom, made some money. Point being, and I'm gonna send you guys this calendar here. There are, apart from the big Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, Q4, a lot of national holidays that do apply in your niches and in your markets that you need to take advantage of, especially when we have periods where things are kind of funky, because you're going to have them. When you run an e-commerce brand, you want, when looking at the entire fucking thing, to be like, okay, yeah, we're making money. These are our assets, yada, yada, yada. But on a day-to-day basis, have you guys ever seen like a stock account? Like you're going to, like a stock account that's going up, right? You're going to have up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. That is how a business works, right? You're going to have days where you're investing a lot of money into something, and now you need to make sure that the money you invested in the inventory that's coming from China gets to the warehouse, and now that you sell it, and let's just say now all of a sudden just things start slowing down, you're not selling it. Well, now you have to pay off. Let's just say you used your Amex card to buy that inventory. You have to pay that inventory off, and time is passing, and sales aren't coming through. What do you do now? Okay, well maybe you have to improvise. You have to, for example, there's a reason we launched the product this last Wednesday, cash flow. We were like, hey, we need to get an injection of cash flow here. We know April is not historically a good month. Let's plan accordingly. Let's plan the drop to be on this date so we get an additional $5,000-$10,000 of cash. Like, those are the things that you have to take into consideration. I have a lot of people that are like, Alex, I'm not profitable. Today was bad. Yeah, dude, me too. Like I have red days too. That happens in the business. If you're not having any red days, you are running a beautiful machine and you run that up as hard as you can. Because a lot, especially when you brand, especially when you're buying inventory, especially when you have $20,000, $30,000 of overhead every single month for paying employees, like this is the level all of you guys are trying to get to. To get to that level, I'm giving you what that level is. At that level, you look at the big picture. You look at the year from now, the 2 years from now, and you focus on growth. You put aside profitability and you focus to acquire as many customers and give them as good of an experience as possible, because a year down the road, 2 years down the road, our drops aren't going to be $5,000, $10,000 a drop. They're going to be $20,000, $30,000 a drop, $40,000, $50,000 a drop. Guess what? Then I can slow down my ad spend on my top of funnel acquisition, focus a lot more on drops, and go from 10, 15% margins to 40, 50% margins. A company's now valued at a lot more. I sell the company for a couple $1 million. Like that's what everybody's trying to do, but there's a very not talked about way to do it. And that not talked about way is difficult. And you guys all need to get equipped with the mindset and the understanding of what is needed from you to get from the point you are currently at to the point where you're trying to be, which I'm assuming everybody here wants to build a brand at one point and sell the brand. I'm just assuming that. So how does this apply in 2023? For most of you guys, 2023 is going to be a big growth year for the content space, specifically because I don't know a lot of other people that are literally shoving down your guys' throats and other people's throats content. I know I am, and I know I'm going to continue to be doing that. A lot of you guys might already know, some of you guys don't know. Ecom.live is a project that I'm building that all of you guys have access to, where we're going to be doing like weekly content competitions. I want you guys to be like beasts at creating content. Once you get to that point, once you guys are beasts at creating content and are able to create good content that is getting eyeballs from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are advertising, to your website, and starting to get that converting and starting to build up a customer list, then we need to start introducing new products. You guys need to start building that momentum and looking a year, 2 years out to be like, okay, in 2 years, where do I want to be? I want to be $5 million revenue a year. That's doable. We're on track to do $5 million this year. Like, that's pretty cool. To be on track for that and to have that in your scopes, you have to identify and then work backwards. What is everything you need to do? You need to build up your customer list to a certain base. You need to start selling to those customers again. You need to have a certain top of funnel acquisition that's going on. These are all parts that are going to need to exist for you to be able to achieve that. What can you do today? Focus on what works. I've seen there's at least two, three of you guys in this Discord, in this live call right now, that have things that are working. What you want to do is identify what those things are that are working for you and continue improving those things, not changing them, not switching to 10 different strategies and spreading yourself thin, but focusing on the core aspects of your business, which are going to be your product, your product, the experience the customer gets, and driving more users and customers to have that experience. For those of you guys that are listening that don't have a product, that are still testing things and things are not working as they should be, I want to reemphasize, product is maybe 10 to 15% of what you should be focusing on. The content that you create for that product is what's going to sell that product. I know already a couple of you that have switched multiple products. Taking a product, sticking with the product, creating good content for that product is going to sell the product. That's the formula that works. Some products are easier to sell. If you go and sell something to a certain demographic or a certain market, it might be easier or harder to sell. These are all things that are true, and those are all things you should take into consideration. But just taking a singular product, $100, $200 of ad spend into that product with 3 creatives were the first 3 creatives you've ever made, 50th creatives you've ever made, isn't, in my opinion, of a chance for that product. And it can't justify, in my eyes and in my opinion, saying, okay, I'm gonna switch to another product. Until you've tested every single audience there is for that product. And what I mean by that is you can market a product to multiple audiences. You're not bound. Most products are not just bound to one audience, unless it's hyper specific. Only women that have dogs will buy our products. Well, here's another angle. Suzanne loses a dog. She tells her friends, and now her friend's like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy her a pup ring. It's a friend buying for somebody who just lost a dog. See how that's not a traditional view. You guys have to be able to and willing to think outside the box and you have to look at marketing in a different way. What hasn't been done before that can work? That's how you need to think about your marketing. If you think about your marketing like that, you're going to sell the product no matter what the products are. As long as there's a demand for it, if there's a problem and you are providing a solution for that problem, even if it's not even a solution, but you make people be like, oh, this can help me. A pup ring doesn't actually help with it physically, doesn't do anything, doesn't sweep your floor, keep your dog from using the bathroom on your carpet, but it does provide you a sense of comfort and safety. And that's what people fall in love with. And that's why our marketing is using emotions. There's reasons for it. Last thing I want to cover in this specific video in this loom, understand who your customers are. Back years ago, you could throw up an e-commerce store. It could be the simplest, shittiest drop shipping looking store in the world. You could put $100 of ad spend on a very shitty ad and you can get a lot of sales. You can get a lot of conversions. That existed at one point. That doesn't exist anymore because consumers are getting smarter. Consumers know what an ad is. Consumers are programmed, swipe past ads. Certain consumers in certain demographics also have a specific way that they think they should shop online or that they know how to shop online. What does that mean? That means that every single ad for every single audience, every single landing page for every single audience is going to have different optimal conversion points. They're going to convert better at different points and differently. An older demographic might want a really simple site layout that looks stupid to us that are making the websites. This is something that I just started thinking about recently. Why did our conversion rate drop when we introduced the new version of the landing page? This is something that I was talking with my mentor yesterday. And he was like, what did you guys do? It's like, what changes you guys make? We made some pretty cool changes. We changed the little swatches for the sterling silver, gold, rose gold. We made them little bubble colors that you can select the color. We thought that would make sense. Older people don't know what that means. Older people need to see physically like a drop down to select their items. This is why you have to know who you're selling to. You have to put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're selling to and go through it with their thought process. If you are selling to a teenager that is so caught up with all the trends and everything that's going around and is super tech savvy, you could have a complicated ass site that's super fancy with like weird animated things going on and like the product floating in the middle. Oh yeah, that kid's gonna figure it out. You do this, you add to cart, you purchase. But that kid's probably not gonna spend $50. So why is your price point of $50 if you're selling to a kid? Right? So it's like, you have to think about these things. A lot of people are just throwing things together, throwing a price on it, being like, I want this to do this because this is the margin. Who's your audience? Who are you selling to? Is your market speaking to that audience? People try to sell something like a 60-year-old, and then their marketing is like all TikTok style-y, really quick. Bro, that 80-year-old is on the first frame. He's like, what is happening? Older people need slower videos. They need to read. They need to adjust their glasses to see what it's saying. You got to think about these things. That's what's going to make you guys succeed this year. The big holidays you guys should all be pushing. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, whoever your demographic is, you pick one of those. Those are the ones that every single one of you guys should go to your calendars right now, find out. I know at the top of my head that May 14th is Mother's Day. I know that February 14th was Valentine's Day. You need to know these dates. You need to plan the next, like when I'm preparing for Mother's Day, like you guys saw that I didn't go AFK in here, but my activity in here dropped significantly because I'm focusing on preparing things. We're trying to do ridiculous numbers in the next couple of weeks. That doesn't just poof come out of thin air. You planning, stressful phone calls, figuring out what ads we're going to run, getting those ads shot. I've been around this college campus that's around here, talking to different people, being like, yo, I need some UGC created. Come to my studio space for an hour, 2 hours. We'll record some content. I'll give you some cash. Are you interested in that? I got like 3-4 people that just came into the studio space. We shot some content. Now we have UGC content. There's no excuses. If you give yourself an excuse, well, I don't have content. Well, I don't have money for content. You can get free content. I can promise you, you go to one of your boys or your girls or your friends and you say, yo, I have my small business. I need some help with some content. Help me out with some content. We'll go get some pizza later. They're gonna help you. There's no excuses for getting content. There's no excuses for spending time to learn to edit content yourself. I've been editing content myself for years. This is the first time in the last couple of months, the first time that I hired an editor. The first time after scaling multiple brands. The first time. Learn to edit. Good skill to have. A skill that is unmatchable in this space. When your editor comes back with footage one day, and you don't know how to edit, how are you going to grade it? How are you going to give him an A, B? You're the teacher. You're the instructor. You need to instruct the editor what to do. Imagine if you're in your college classes or high school or wherever, and your teacher doesn't know what to teach. You fill out the test, the teacher can't grade the test. That's why you have to be in all of these positions. You have to do customer support yourself to understand what questions come in. Then you have to build systems with customer support. You have to take every aspect of customer support. Why is my package taking so long? Guess what? You should have a response that is already written for when somebody asks that question. When somebody says, why is my package taking so long? Guess what? You want to be able to copy that response, paste it, and send it. Gorgeous. There's a platform called, I think it's Gorgeous or something like that. You can have all these responses prompted. You can just click little click buttons, macros, and it will automatically inject the pre-written response that you wrote ahead of time for questions that are asked. You have to be in that position to know what those questions are. You have to be in the position of creating the product yourself and designing the product yourself and getting the logo created. Like all of you guys should be right now, if you don't have Photoshop on your computer, After Effects, not even After Effects, but like Premiere Pro at least, on your computer, those should be on your computer. You guys are the CEOs and the founders of these companies. You guys need to have tools to edit content, to edit like small, simple graphics. I have Photoshop open, like you guys can see in the corner of my screen. I have Photoshop right here. Like I use this quite religiously, and it's not because I want to, it's because I need to. When somebody's like, here's a great example. We have, let me see if I can actually just pull it up. Let's go to product ideas. I don't think it's the best example. We're thinking of getting this ring created. Yeah, it's not the best example because this wasn't on Photoshop. But I need to give specifications to the manufacturers to get a quote. I need to do that. Not the editor, not the customer support rep. I need to do that. I'm the founder or co-founder, whatever. I'm responsible for this. I got to go give specifications for this. Sterling silver, we're looking for it to be 7 millimeters wide. No engraving on the front, want a blank. I'm going to try to find you guys a better example because I do this all the time. Absolutely all the time. Added dimensions. It's very quick, very easy. I popped open Photoshop. Here's the Photoshop file. And I'm throwing together dimensions on it. Like this is the stuff that you use. Like I use this every day. I added the text, I added the lines, I added the logo on here. This is before we created these cloths. I took a little cleaning cloth that I had for my glasses. I threw it on this desk. I took a picture of it. I threw on the pup ring logo. I put the dimensions and I sent it to the factory and I said, this is what I want. That's how you get things created that you want. You be specific with what you want. You don't just be like, oh, well, I'll do, what's the cheapest option? Well, when your customer opens it, is the cheapest option going to make them go, wow, this was a great purchase. I want to tell all my friends and family about it. Or is that experience when your customer opens the package going to be, paid $30 for it? I paid $40 for this? Oh, Stacy, I I just got this. It's not worth it. Not worth it. This company's ass. It's charged me $60. Like, people will tell 5 people about a good experience. Do you know how many people they're going to tell about a bad experience? 10, 20, 30, 40 people. They're going to post it on the story, be like, this company's ass. Do not purchase from it. Now you lost your chance. Like, imagine if somebody did that to us, posted it on their story with 1,000 dog moms. Do not buy from this company. We just lost 1,000 potential customers. Because of what? Because of a bad customer experience. These are all things you need to keep in mind for 2023. That's about 30 minutes of me just talking. So I think I am going to, let me see if there's anything else that I had in mind to go over. We're going to talk a lot more about product launches this upcoming week. So during the product launch we just had for our latest product, I recorded creating emails. I recorded creating the SMS. I recorded us doing the drop. This is all going to be available to you guys. I'm also going to create a checklist on what you need to make sure you have done when launching a product. Launching products is going to be one of your guys' biggest saving graces. You're going to have to launch products into your existing ecosystems, especially as you move towards branding, as you move towards building a company that's going to last a long time. Even if you have 1 to 10 customers, whatever it may be, still you can do this on a drop shipping model. You don't have to introduce products over, bring them in and send them from here. You can test products for drop shipping. We do that. We have tested multiple of our previous products, drop shipping them. A supplier that's a good quality supplier that we build a relationship and we have certain volume thresholds we have to hit with them, but we're still testing it. We still don't have to pay tens of thousands of dollars of inventory to test it. Make those relationships. You guys can do that as well. You guys can test those things as well. For all you know, you might only have 100 customers in the past and you release a new product and 50% of those customers like, holy shit, I want to buy that product. And now you just doubled your entire, you just got an additional 50% on your previous revenue. That can change for you, for your business. You start doing that on a consistent, we're aiming for 1 product launch a month. That's a lot of products. Like, it's 12 products a year. That's what we're aiming for. That's our goal. All right, I'm going to call it quits on the Loom video and then we'll open this up for a little bit of Q&A. But I hope this was really beneficial. So I'm going to end the Loom here.